New day, new project. I found this trunk in my local junk shop. It was about £10, bargain. What I particularly liked about it, because you don't often get this, is the inside is immaculate and really quite nice. So I won't have to paint or do anything to that. It initially reeked of steampunk to me, which I love, as you know, but I've set myself a challenge to transform this into something pretty, really super pretty. So the first thing I'm going to do is roller cover the whole of the outside of the trunk in a mixture of all my leftover creams, whites, sugar puffs, etc. I've mixed them all together because I had little bits left in different pots. And we're going to give it a coat everywhere. So I'll come back when that's done and show you what we're going to be doing. Right, so I just thought I'd show you this bit before we move on. We painted all the rest of it in this lovely, it's come out a gorgeous colour, though I could never mix it again because it was full of all sorts of bits and pieces. But on the bottom of the suitcase there was some tears where the, I don't know if leathery stuff had come away. So what we've done to try and seal it before we paint it is use some background of tissue paper and some finishing coat and put it on in various layers. I'm going to dry it off to kind of seal it and hard it so that we've got no bits sticking up, and then we're going to paint over the top as before. I think it's quite nice to paint the bottom of these because although technically you don't see it, a lot of people buy them to put on the top of wardrobes, and then if you had this sort of dark black sticking out the top of your wardrobe it would show. So I think it's nice that we're going to paint it and then seal it with a finishing coat. So once we've done all that and we're ready to start doing the exciting stuff, we'll come back. Right, it's now time to reveal the pretty exciting bit. I've decided that today we are going to make this trunk into a patchwork trunk using decoupage napkins, which I think will look really, really cool. So I've sourced through all my napkins to find ones that sort of match enough, have got enough colour and will break up. And we've cut them up into different shapes, so some are oblong, some are pure squares, etc. I'm going to make it look like a piece of patchwork. So the first thing we've done after we've cut them up is take the back off. So here's a back that we've just peeled off. Every napkin is 3 layers thick, so I've taken 2 layers away, leaving me with a very fragile, thin layer. So I've got finishing coat here. I'm just going to show you how I do the first bit. We literally spread it out roughly the shape that we need, and it has to cover the whole area. Now, don't make this liquid too thick, because if it gets too wet it will bubble up and create lumps and bumps on your tissue. If however you've done that by mistake anyway, get the hairdryer out, give it a bit of a blast once you've got your tissue down, dry it off a little bit and then carry on spreading out as before, and that will remove your lumps and bumps. So obviously I wanted that to go into the corner along the line because I'm not gonna patch. As that bit gets wet I'm going to tear off the corner because I don't want the corner going over the metal. So now I'm using my brush to gently flatten out the rumples. As you can see I've got a bit of time to work with it. And because it's not too wet, it's holding fairly strong. And what's particularly lovely is that obviously we could have put this decoupage straight onto the trunk as it was, but then the black would have shown through. So it's going to be the cream underneath that blends all of the pieces together and makes them look like one unit. So that was the reason for that. So as you can see, we're pretty smooth. And I've only put little bits of finishing coat on. And then I'm just going to go back and tear that little corner off. There. Smooth it down. Perfect. So I'm going to carry on and stick all my pieces down so that they all fit next to each other, and then we'll show you what we're going to do then. Alright, I'll come back when the top's done. Hiya, right, new day. This is the back, which we felt that even though we didn't need to do it, that in name of getting it perfect, that's what we decided to do. So I just thought I would show you before we finish up the last bit of how to get rid of excess paper that's gone further than we needed to, that we hadn't cut, because we didn't cut this to size. We literally were stroking it on with the brush and pushing it right up into the indent and then just left it. This is now completely dry, so it's quite crispy. We didn't have to leave it till it was completely dry. There's two methods of removing it. So the first one I'm going to show you is once it's dry, and you have to wait for it to dry, you can use sandpaper to just rub away gently. Just like that. It's come away really quickly, really easily. Or while it's still wet, you can use your brush. And I'm going to soak this, get this wet again because it was dry. Push underneath. And using the brush to wet it, it will just come away as wet tissue paper. But you have to be a little bit more gentle this way so it doesn't tear down. There. But as you can see, both methods, very effective and very quick. So it's just about whether you want to do it wet or you want to do it dry, but that's finished it off fine. Use a little bit of finishing coat to just seal off any rusted bit. So the last thing to do on this whole project is give it a whole coat of finishing coat, maybe even two, to completely seal it and make it protect it. And I think you'll agree, it looks absolutely stunning. I'm really, really chuffed with it. Definitely use this technique again, and it is probably one of the few projects that I've done where I've actually cut squares of the napkins, because normally I would say to always tear, but for this kind of project the squares and cutting has actually worked really well. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and like my page, which is www.facebook.com/The Emporium Furniture, which will take you straight to Chic Emporium. Thank you, till the next time.
You know